I want to say one other thing. My co-chair, Charles Bronfman, was very, very sorry that he couldn't be here. We're called co-chairs. His contribution was about $10 million more than mine. So I have to balance my influence, and the only reason I can talk at all is because he's not here probably, but I just want to say this, that we will hear from a really amazing cross-section of people. And I want to say right away that I'm not one of them. I know little or nothing about the oil business or energy. But when I was a McGill student, I got a job on a pipeline, the the Portland pipeline, and I settled claims up and down the line, and I learned quite a lot. I certainly learned how you put the pipe in and how you took the pipe out and how you damaged the farmers' fields. And I remember the first farmer I met on the board, and I don't worry, I won't tell any other anecdotes, but the first farmer I met on the board was a man called Dan Lewis. And I had a list of prices for the bladang sucre, the bladang de vache, and a whole lot of crops. And I said, "You have a claim, Mr. Lewis?" And he said, "Yep." I said, "For what?" He said, "A cow." I said, "A cow is not on my list." I said, "How can you claim against the pipeline for a cow? My cow ate your damn tar paper and dropped dead." I said, "What kind of a cow?" Being a very honest townshipper, he said, "Just a common cow." And I said, "And how much do you want for the common cow?" He said, $75. I took it out of my pocket and gave it to him, and from there on it was nothing but jerseys and marvelous, expensive cows all the way down the line to Boucherville. And on we went, and we managed to settle out at the end. So what I learned about the oil business, we settled out at the end by them claiming huge amounts, threatening me with guns and dogs and God knows what else, and me coming back with a cash offer, barbed wire, Molson's beer, dynamite. They coming back with fried green tomatoes. At the end of that process, we settled. We settled the whole line. So there are many aspects to this business, and I was fortunate to spend 2 years in that one little corner of it and learn a little bit about it. Now, never did I believe that when I would become the co-chairman 20 years ago, that I would be on the stage with two Suzannes of extraordinary academic distinction. The first you've heard from, who was the acting director of MISC and professor of history and classical studies. It is my great pleasure to introduce our brand new principal, Suzanne Fortier, formerly the president of NSERC. Prior to that, two vice principalships at Queen's. And by profession, I don't know if that's the way to say it, or by specialty, she is a crystallographer. I know you all know what that is, so I'm not going any further because time is short. But it is a great, great privilege for us so early in her term to ask Suzanne to come and say a few words for this conference. Thank you.
Merci. Bonjour et bienvenue à tous. Et surtout, merci d'être ici, tous nos invités, nos conférenciers. C'est une rencontre, je crois, être importante. Alors, merci d'être ici, d'avoir pris le temps d'être ici, malgré certains inconvénients, de déménager d'un endroit à l'autre. Alors, on apprécie beaucoup, beaucoup votre présence. I'm delighted myself to be here. It is my very first attendance at a conference of the McGill Institute for the Study of Canada. I didn't know quite to expect. I knew there would be a lot of people, and I'm glad that this is indeed the case. let me start by saying thank you to a few people, in particular the founders, the co-chairs who founded the McGill Institute for the Study of Canada, Alec Patterson and Charles Bronfman, and all of those who have served the Institute in a very generous way, our current co-chair, Lily and Denise, and of course many, many people who are on the board. And I thank them for their time, their generosity, but also for their vision. To me, the McGill Institute for the Study of Canada exists because we care about Canada. And because we care about our country, we know that it is important for us to engage in debate around issues that concern us all, that may have an impact on us all, on our country. And so it is very, very important that we have a place where we can study those questions, where we can debate those questions, where we can do so in a climate where we're listening to each other, where we're able to hear different perspectives, listen to different perspectives, and bring to the discussion our own perspective. This is exactly what this is about. It takes a certain amount of courage, actually, to put together a conference like this, because you're bringing together people who don't necessarily have the same point of view, who will debate among each other, but that's exactly what we need to do, particularly in a university, and particularly in a venue like this, where people are respectful of one another, are listening to one another, and will hear things that will stay with them in their mind for a long time and will contribute to their future thinking or actions on the questions that we debate here. So merci beaucoup, beaucoup d'être ici. C'est vraiment un privilège pour moi d'en faire partie de cette belle conférence. Et je suis sûre qu'on va avoir une journée, comme vous l'avez eu d'ailleurs hier, une journée très intéressante. Et c'est vraiment pour le bien de notre pays et de nous tous. Alors, merci infiniment.